Good morning. So today what I'm going to be doing is turning this into an actual flower bed. Now, the plants that you see in the front here, the yarrow and even the primrose, I ended up pulling out from my garden way over there. I just needed to divide the clumps that I had over there and the plants. They were getting a little too overgrown, so I ended up planting them over here with the intention of creating a bed out of it. So this morning what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn it into a bed. Now I see a lot of other things growing up here. A lot of weeds, grass. This is actually fleabane, I believe. So that's a weed, but it's a native one. The bees and stuff are coming to it, other little bugs. So I'm not sure if I'm going to take that down, but my plan is to. This morning what I'm going to do is move this European beech slab, piece of wood that came off of the stump back here, move it out of the way, take the mug up, so I'm just going to put it into a wheelbarrow or some kind of a pot, remove my bags of stuff and the random bricks I have around, and then I'm just going to pretty much clean it up, weed the area out, and maybe start to till it up, and I don't know if till is the right word, but just weed the area out. And then I did buy some things at my local garden center recently, a few plants, and I also have a bunch more in my garden that I need to transplant somewhere else because it's getting too crowded. So what I'm thinking is, if I have the energy and I can get to it, once I create a defined bed here, I'm going to clean it up and then start planting some of the things I did buy, like I think I bought a daisy. I bought a wood pine, which I think would do better here than in any of my other gardens because those get full sun. This one gets a little bit of shade, so it might be better for it. I'll bring some of the cornflower over and maybe some of the salvia that I do have. I do have some Virginia spiderwort in my garden over here as well, and the clump is getting quite big, so I may bring some of that over here to divide it. It all depends on how much energy I have and how much I can get done. But I'm just going to get started, and first off would be to remove these and sort of clear the area and then start shoveling the mulch out. So I'm going to do that now. Here on the ground. So what I'm going to do is just kind of rake it together to that middle section. So now that I've got rid of the mulch, or most of it, and kind of spread it out around the bed, I'm going to start weeding the centerpiece almost to the edge, and then I'm going to create a defined line with my shovel to create the bed, so I know where the bed ends when the grass starts, I guess. Just gonna start weeding, pulling up the grass and tossing it off to the side to this big pile, which I will then throw in my compost. You can see here that I've created a defined line for where the bed will be. I just kind of eyeballed it and hope that it's parallel to that bed over there and straight enough. I'm just going to go through and weed the rest of the stuff out. It's not much, it's just a few small little things. And then once I am done, I can start putting the plants that I want to put in their pots and see what layout I'd like. That's usually how I do it. I did leave this thing here. I'm not sure if I should, but I kind of worked around it. It looks decent. Okay, so it is a very nice, overcast, cloudy day here today, which makes it wonderful for gardening. So far, I've been outside for about 3 hours. Started about 10 o'clock. It's now 1. So it's been nice. I've been able to get a lot of things done. I want to show you guys. I ended up digging some things out of my garden here that I'm going to transplant into the new garden way over there that I'm making. And I just want to show you what it looks like. Okay, so I dug out some of this hardy geranium here. You can see where I dug them out from. They grow very easily by root, and they spread like crazy. As you can see, look how much I have on this side in this particular garden. And they started out very small, like one of these. I planted like a few of them this size, and they have since grown into the giant mounds that you see. So what I'm going to do is line the front of that garden bed on the other side with these, and they'll eventually get to this size, which is kind of beautiful. I also dug out from here, next to this little azalea bush, there was a black cherry tree growing, so I dug it out. I was unable to keep the soil intact with the roots, so it came out kind of like a bare root. I'm hoping it will catch and it will survive, but if I get it in now, it's supposed to rain later and pour for the next few days. We should be getting a lot of rain. I think it will do well. This year is Dave Austin Lady of Shallot Rose. I did have to trim it back quite a lot. This one went very tall last year, lots of really long branches, but I try to keep it kind of shrub-like. You see a dandelion in there. I do need to weed that out. Enough with the distractions. I'm going to show you the other stuff that I dug out now. So right over here, this is my front corner garden bed. I dug out a black cherry tree from here as well, so now I've got 2. And then I came up, and this here is a type of iris. It sends beautiful purple flowers. It's got a few buds on there. And if you can look down here, you see I kind of dug some out. Normally, you would divide this up in fall or even early spring, but I think fall is the best time to dig up irises. But I did it now. because I was in the mood. These super tall Asiatic lilies. I also dug up a section here. You can see the dirt, the soil is all kind of crazy. Now, these things are tall. They are gorgeous, very tall, almost as tall as I am. So they're about 5 feet, maybe 4.5 feet tall right now. So I dug them up and I got one bulb and then like a giant one and then a few small ones around it. Here's some more of those Asiatic lilies. I didn't dig any of this out, but you'll see some soil here that's disturbed. There was a mulberry bush growing in here, and that was a royal pain in the bum to dig out. The roots went so deep, and it's so cluttered in here, so it was very hard to get to. But I don't think I got all of the roots anyway. Um, so I dug that out. I am not sure if I'm going to keep it because I don't know. White mulberry, I think, is invasive in this area, and I don't know that I want to keep it after seeing how deep its roots went. Unless I put it somewhere on the tree, like the line here between the church and us, just to sort of, um, all by itself. This is the Virginia spiderwort that I wanted to dig out, but it is sort of a giant clump here. So I'm not sure how to go about digging this out unless I cut it in half, and maybe I'll wait till the fall to do that. I did dig up another one of these plants. I think this is called rose campion or a variety of that, so I dug it out from here. And that one has some pink flowers, not the white ones, I hope. So I'm going to transplant that as well. So I've got Asiatic lilies, I've got the rose campion from back here, I've got the purple geranium from the other side, and I've got two black cherry trees. So now I'm going to just try to transplant them over there. I have them in the cart. I'll show you. And I've got the potted items that I did purchase set where I want. This one in the back here, this is lavender, and it says full sun, but it will get up to 2 feet tall. So I'm going to plant it sort of in the middle there. This one is a Shasta daisy. This one gets up to 18 inches tall, and I believe it spreads. There's a bug on it. I believe it spreads. So I'm just going to leave it sort of in this corner and plant the purple geraniums around. This is a beautiful lupine that I bought. This one also gets up to about 18 inches. So I've got it on the right. And this was that fleabane weed thing that I moved from here. I dug it out and I just stuck it in around the logs. Now here's the beautiful Asiatic lily that I dug out. Let me show you how giant its bulb is, and I hope I did not damage it. This is like in my hand. That's how big it is. It's just huge. So I'm going to get some black cow manure, the compost that I use, and when I dig the hole to plant it in, I'm going to put some of that around so it has more nutrients to help it grow and catch and do well. My plan is to plant this one right back here, which is in the middle of the garden bed in the back, because it gets so tall. I think it will look beautiful, behind the logs that I have stacked in the middle for the bees. So what I ended up doing here was I had like half a bag of the black cow compost left, and I just poured it over the edge of the bed here, or the top, and I raked it in, just kind of mixed it in so the soil looks a little better. I'm going to touch this. I don't know if I want to touch it with my bare hands, but you can see how much darker it is. So it is in there, but as I plant each item, I'm going to add a little bit of the black cow too, so I know it's where the roots are to these plants. This here is the white mulberry thing. Now I remember growing up when we sing, here we go round the here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. So I was super excited when I saw that I had a mulberry bush in my garden. And I thought, hey, I'm going to plant this somewhere fun, but I don't know. I'm a little leery. You see, I did break the roots here. It's kind of damaged. And like I said, it was a pain in the butt to get out. But if I were to plant it somewhere, maybe I'll plant it in front of this fence or over here or something. I don't know. Perhaps. Well, we'll see what I do. I'm not too concerned about that one. Tulip is looking good. Okay, so what I'll do is get started now. Yeah, I see those clouds coming this way. I hope it doesn't downpour on me, but if it does, I'll be running inside. So I'm going to try to get to it, just get started. First, I'm probably going to do the lilies so that its bulb is not sitting out there for a very long time. But I do like the yarrow around the logs. It kind of creates a nice soft effect as the wind blows. It looks beautiful. Okay, I'm going to get some more cow manure, or black cow. All right, so it's getting very windy and kind of cooler right now. I'm just going to, I got the cow manure, the compost over there to put in the hole with the lily. I'm just going to dig a hole now for the lily and get started on that. I'm probably going to use a shovel. Estimating, oh, there's a root there. We need to get down pretty far though. It's just passing by. So as you can see, it's buried. Ow, rock. I'm hoping it catches. Now if you look here, you'll see how the base of the tree kind of starts to flare out here. That's where you want to make sure your top level of dirt is. You don't want to bury that or the tree will die. So I'm going to start right up. I'm going to make sure the top of the soil is right where probably this root starts. Packed in around the roots there. Okay. Even add a little more this time. It helps to keep the soil almost compact. So it holds more moisture, not as sandy as this is here. there it is. Garden bed in a day, kind of. I did put the white yarrow in the front. I did plant those there about a couple weeks ago. Behind it is some yellow primrose, which didn't quite catch well. Tall lily in the back is an Asiatic lily, which I dug out from my other garden. I've got 2 black cherry trees on either end. You can see them. There's the black cherry tree there, and on the other side, in the middle is the rose campion. They're light pink on that side. I've got the iris that I planted in the front. Here again, I did it symmetrical, so there's also an iris planted on this side. That's a clump, I guess. We've got the red lupine on the front, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 geraniums. This little one in front, this here is lavender, this is Shasta daisy, and all these things that look half dead are hardy perennial geraniums, and they will grow into big purple mounding things. The bed outline kind of looks like it's melting into the sides over there and on either side. So I'm going to try to define those a little bit more. It's starting to drizzle though, so I may not get to that. But otherwise, I'm going to dump the mulch on the top. That will help it look like a more defined bed and rake it in without pulling up any plants. So I'll probably be on my knees doing that. And then we do have a lot more of these types of red bricks. I may just do what I've done around here and just line it up on the edge to create that definition of a bed. Well done. It is now almost 3 o'clock. So it was an all-day ordeal project, but I think it looks beautiful. I do have some garden art, like I have a shepherd's hook I can probably stick into the right hand corner in the back there and hang a beautiful wind chime or a bird feeder or something like that. But this is it. I think I'm done and I'm excited. Yay, another bed. So I am all done finally with the garden. It never actually rained, though it still looks like it is going to rain. But I will show you guys the finished product. It's time to clean up now and get rid of things. So I put the mulch on the bed, and I did use my rake to rake it in a bit, but then some of the plants, I was kind of pulling them out. So I had to get down on my knees and spread it with my hands, which was okay. Spread it pretty evenly. And then I did go get the bricks and put them around the bed. I personally think it looks wonderful. I like the finished look of the bed with the bricks. You can kind of see it this way, the back. So it hasn't rained, as I said, but and I did not water these guys in yet. So depending on whether it starts to downpour or not, I may come out a little later and water these. I hope it rains though, because that would be wonderful. I am so tired right now. Okay, so that's that. Garden bed pretty much in a day. I'm so glad I finally got to finish it. Now I'll just take the cart back and my things, tools and other such. I did empty the wheelbarrow that I had full of the weeds and such that I pulled out. I emptied it way in the back down there. So I certainly got my exercise today. I am very happy with the end product, and that's that. I also remember that I was supposed to put some coneflower in. I was supposed to dig out some from over there and bring it over here, and I totally forgot. But I'm glad I got the irises and that I got the other, rose campion and the other things in here. Okay. Thanks for watching. A day in the life